Hey, friends, it's Monday. Listen in the podcast about how I'm dying inside.
How Monday is just being a Monday, which I feel like you haven't had as much, but then you were also sick. So I just can't tell. I can't tell if it's a case of not feeling as good or it's a case of Mondays.
Could just be the Mondays,
It
Nikki.
could be.
Could be the Mondays. So you'll find out what that's all about. We also talk about getting free Wi-Fi. My time with Genshin Impact.
Yeah, Obi did a Facebook Live Obadiah Plays, so you can watch that. When you're done with the podcast, head over to RadioU Riot on our Facebook page to catch up on a lot of our videos there.
We talk about Camp Crystal Lake, renting a theater, Nikki's Creamers.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the COVID dilemma.
Yes.
Where I had a friend who had a thing.
Who had a thing that led to something else.
And I don't think we actually said it on the air, but that's how I ended up streaming on Friday.
Oh, because you didn't have anything else to do?
Yeah, my plans fell through, and I was like, dude, I might as well stream. Sure.
Great idea. And safer idea, too.
Well, it did keep me safe.
But we got some people's opinions on what happened to him on Friday.
Yeah. So when my financial ruin comes along, I should be able to blame that on COVID, too.
Maybe.
So, hey, you guys enjoy the podcast. As always, thanks for hanging with us.
Yes, don't forget to say hello. Text 877 to Radio U. The key is put Riot Podcast and put your name, so we'll see it when we come in, and we'll be able to say hello back to you.
Okay. Well, you guys have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye.
They even make morning people want to reach for the snooze button. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
I just want you to know if you feel like it's tough out there, it's fine. It is. It's
okay.
hard.
It's okay to feel that way?
It is. I'm just telling you that you're not alone because, man, I just got up this morning and then walked right into my closet and laid back down.
Which normally you're not supposed to do until you're into the week. So it's a bit worrisome that you're starting off the week that way.
I'm so
worried.
But, like, it doesn't make any sense. You know, I don't know. Must be like a body chemistry thing. Like something somewhere didn't cross the whatever, and now I'm tired.
Well, also, you sometimes finally start to relax over the weekend, and then that's causing you to not be able to jump back into the work week.
Man.
As early as we are required.
Just unbelievable. I just can't, like, I actually, at one point, I'm laying there and I was just like
in the closet.
In the closet on the floor. I was like, I just can't. I just can't. Can we just have an honest moment here, okay? Like, I just can't do it. I'm going to have to call Nikki and tell her.
I have to tell her I'm in the closet. I can't come to work.
I can't. And then this other voice is like, you couldn't 2 weeks ago. You can't keep not being able to do it.
You had that whole battle going on?
You have to get up. But we can't do it. Aww. Don't say that.
Well, look at that. You did. You can do it. You did do it.
We can. We did it, Nikki. Look at this.
You're here, and that was really the whole battle.
Wow. I mean, really, at this point, it's a win. Everything from here on out couldn't possibly be as hard as picking myself up off the floor of the closet. There's nothing I'm going to face today that's going to be harder than that.
And
fingers crossed, knock on the composite.
Jumping into Monday was the hardest step to the point where it's practically Friday.
You know
so
what?
this week's going to go by really fast.
Is it Christmas tomorrow?
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Someone get the decorations out.
Look at that.
The worst of the worst. Are you ready? The Riot Podcast. Radio U. Radio U.
Now, I've heard a lot of the little locals doing it, maybe some of the smaller venues, but the big boys are on board now.
What are they doing?
They're talking about renting your own theater at AMC.
Now, I thought you said $99. Is it $99 or was it 99 cents?
Okay, it's not 99 cents.
Because when I thought I heard 99 cents, I was like, wow, how are they doing that?
Now, they had a promotion back in July or something where for the first day when they reopened their theaters that it was like 17 cents or something. It was to celebrate the year that they opened.
Okay, $99 makes way more sense.
It's not 99 cents.
That's doable, I still think.
So here's the idea. You can now rent an AMC theater for you and 20 friends, $99.
I think that's a pretty good deal.
Well, it is, especially if you just tell all your friends, like, hey, everybody, $5.
Yeah.
Well, everybody chip in $5 and we'll do a showing.
Now, you can add on to it. They're saying that if you wanted a newer release, there's a couple of them, I guess. It'll be a little bit more. If you want to bring your own food, it's $250. And if you want to rent a microphone, that's $100 added. In case you wanted to have like a party.
I get it. But like the $100 microphone rental fee
is a bit much. That's a bit much. But AMC has said that, they're struggling and they could go bankrupt by the end of this year. So they're trying to still operate.
So I went ahead to the website to look at the form that you fill out that says you want to do this. They say they'll contact you within 3 business days after you fill it out. Here's a list of the movies. Okay. The War with Grandpa.
Is that the newer one?
I guess.
Those are newer movies, yes.
2 Hearts, The Conjuring, The Conjuring 2, The Curse of La Llorona, Hocus Pocus. There's a real Halloween theme that's running through these.
Well, it makes sense.
Honest Thief, that's the new Liam Neeson movie, I think. How to Train Your Dragon, Jumanji The Next Level, Jurassic Park, Monsters, Inc., The New Mutants, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Shrek, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Tenet. You take Tenet out of there.
You don't want any of it?
And I'm suddenly not interested.
So if you want to bring your own food, like I mentioned, there's a $250 catering fee for it.
Right.
But you are not allowed to bring in food that the theater already sells. So say you wanted to bring in popcorn. You're not allowed to. You can only have their popcorn.
So I would pay $100 to rent the theater. My friends would show up, and if they wanted snacks, they had to buy them at the concession stand.
If not, they had to wear it in. Just stuff that was allowed to go in. They say nothing with a heating element. So you cannot, food-wise, you can't have that.
I mean, I can see why they have to say it, but, man, I'm not having that elaborate of a party. Come on.
See, I still think if they tied it, there's not much like sporting events. I mean, there are still ones going around. I just don't think a lot of people are watching it. But if you could watch a football game or something with your friends, that would be really fun.
Well, the only thing about
not just one of these old movies.
See, the only thing about that is that there's a licensing issue there.
I just meant if they could.
No, I know. But I mean,
they can't.
What I'm saying is they may be working something like that behind the scenes, because if they would set up something like that, I think you would have as much luck with that as you would trying to get all your friends to pile in to watch The Conjuring 2.
So $99, that's where it starts off at. Just know that it's the details that get you.
Yeah. Oh, you wanted a microphone?
Well,
no.
that's $100 more.
Well, you're getting one, and it's $100.
If you wanted food, before you know it, it's going to be way more than the $99.
But that's the starting price.
That is. And if you picked one of the older movies that still fit for that, I guess maybe that'd be fun.
Hey, that tells me that AMC really is having a hard time, because this was like the thing the mom and pop theaters were doing.
Sure.
And now AMC's doing it.
They have no new movies. Like, they have just a couple, but nothing to bring everybody in. If you could make it a party while still being safe with it, they think maybe that could help.
One day, a heroic time traveler will go back in time to make sure none of this ever happens. Until then, it's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I think that you may have disappointed some people.
What do you mean?
Well, Nikki says to me just casually, nonchalantly, off air, hey, the Snickers creamer is in there if you want some. And which is
I
great.
didn't know everybody was waiting to hear the results.
But last week we had this big discussion about creamer. Nikki ordered a bunch online, and she's just like,
well, I mean,
I thought we were having a taste test.
No, I picked them up on Friday, and so I tried each one over the weekend. And
so you had a taste test. You just didn't invite the rest of us.
Pretty much. And then I just thought I would just I'd bring in the ones today. So I brought the Snickers one in. I got the Sugar Cookie Elf one.
Okay.
I got the Funfetti creamer.
Okay.
And I got the Snickers coffee creamer.
Well, the Funfetti creamer was where you put all the chips on Funfetti creamer.
I was so excited. And that was like the first one that I tried. And I don't know if it's just the coffee that I use at home, but we had a little bit of a disappointment with that one.
Yeah?
Little disappointing. The Elf one is pretty good, but the Snickers one's definitely the best.
Okay.
So that was it. It was just rather... not a letdown, but just
it sounds like a letdown.
It's not. It's just now we know the Snickers one's pretty good, and that's why I brought it in.
Well, that's a shame.
If you want to try it, I know you don't like creamer too much.
You know what? It's just that it makes me not feel good too. Like on top of my
same
samesies,
but you just push through.
Pretty much anything that's got soy in it, like I don't know. It just kind of makes me sick. And I've just learned to enjoy black coffee. I don't know how. I actually do, but we won't get into it. But I just like black coffee now.
Well, I was a little sad again because the Funfetti one wasn't as strong of a. I wanted cake in a cup.
What you're, yeah, that's what you're actually looking for is a piece of cake and then a tiny sip of coffee every once in a while.
I actually would have liked if it was chunky. There was actual cake pieces in there, and I don't think I'm the only one who would have thought that.
I'm sure that's true.
So I don't know if Coffee Creamer could just move into, they're like, oh, it's now real cake chunks.
No, what they need to do is you go to the fridge or whatever at the grocery store, and it's like, here's your Funfetti coffee creamer, and then just right next to it is, and here's a Funfetti cake.
Already
ready
made.
to go.
Yep, ready to go and stick in there.
The creamer doesn't sell. The coffee, the cake, sales go through the roof.
I think it's a good partnership. And again, I don't think it's bad to put extra stuff in your coffee cup. But the Elf Sugar Cookie one, a strong second behind the Snickers one.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you at least letting us know.
Yeah, I mean, there really wasn't much else to it.
You make something out of it.
You make something out of it.
I mean, in reality, Nikki, what is there anything to anything?
I know, you're right. I could still use a few more suggestions of a stronger coffee creamer.
I don't have it pulled up.
Because the rest just kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Somebody messaged me over the weekend, and they said Aldi has an almond milk-based peppermint mocha creamer.
And that it's good?
That's really good.
Oh, that'll be good to try.
I know. Makes me want to make a little stop, you know?
You thought they were bad live? Well, just wait until you hear this. The Worst of the Riot podcast with Obadiah and Nikki.
Could I interest you in a tour of the campground where the Friday the 13th movies were filmed?
Were filmed?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Is that like a Airbnb thing? Can you stay there? Or?
No, it's the people that run it. The camp is, I mean, we know it in the horror whatever as Camp Crystal Lake. But is
it a real one?
Yeah, it is. Its actual name is Camp Nobi Bosco.
Oh, okay.
What?
It must mean something.
I'm sure it probably does. But you go on the tour. There are several
I just hear the word no in there, so.
No B, which is like Obi, but it's like don't.
It's a warning to not go there.
No B, no.
Don't go.
Yeah. It is apparently still an active Boy Scouts camp. So it's getting used and everything. You can go on a tour that will take you on the different filming sites. And for a little extra cash, you can take that tour at night.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Actually, if you were into that sort of stuff, it would be probably more fun at night.
Yeah, it'd probably be a thing. But let's see. Similar to our recent summer tours, these events will feature a limited number of guests to allow for proper social distancing.
Good call.
Because the real horror this Halloween is COVID.
Is a real threat, actually.
Yeah. Temperature scans will be performed at check-in, and face coverings will be required at all times. We'll continue to monitor the situation and send updates to all ticketed guests.
But again, it's just a tour. It's not like you can camp out.
No.
No, okay. So you just go walk around.
Yeah. You can go October 23rd, 24th, 25th, 30th, 31st, or November 13th, November 14th. So it's kind of it's scary, but happy Thanksgiving.
Yay! That's a fall one.
Even Jason has things to be thankful for.
That's right.
Like his loving mother.
Can you go apple picking or pumpkin patch still then?
And if you were going to drown in a lake, look at this wonderful setting. So
if you want to go to Camp Crystal Lake, which is actually a real place, it's a Boy Scout camp.
Well, Nikki, Camp Crystal Lake is not a real place.
No, I meant the
Camp Nobi Bosco,
where they filmed it at, where it was called that. You can during Halloween and for 2 strange days in November. Still go there and see it. You
could have the exact same experience by going out into the woods with a flashlight for 5 minutes.
Oh, you'd actually be more scared.
That's free.
Have you ever just pick a place in your own home area?
Just go.
There's people around. It's monitored. There's temperature checks. It can't be that scary.
So, just a thought.
So, did they say how much it is? Or?
You know what? I didn't dig into the prices. I'm sure it's so much more than you would be willing to pay for it. So much more.
You at least get a snack or food?
I don't see
Finger
any.
food?
It says special gifts, approximately $30 in value.
You can get a gift bag.
Oh, hey, here I got it. $159, or that's the dark one. The daylight hours is $89.
Oh, so.
But don't forget, special gifts, $30 in value.
All right.
So it's like it's only $59.
You're making money going there.
Wow.
We would give the Riot flowers to show our appreciation, but Obadiah's probably allergic. What isn't he allergic to? This is the Riot on Radio U.
Everybody's got a gripe probably against their parents, like a little one. You're like, Mom, you never bought me that toy I wanted, or whatever it is. For some people, it runs a little deeper than that. Like, I hate my name. There are people out there that hate their name.
They don't like the name they were given.
They don't like the name that they were given. They grow up and change their name. I had a friend like that. She just like, no, it's not my name.
So do you think the parents allow you beforehand, or do you have to wait till you're 18?
She was older. We were in college, I think. She changed her name.
Changed her first name?
Yeah. Yeah. So that being said, Nikki, I have no gripe. Like, my name's Obadiah. It's not a radio name because, believe me, that's not the one I would have picked.
That you chose that one.
I would have picked something like Johnny Danger.
Well, you still can if you want.
Something really awesome. But I believe this is in the UK. We've got some parents that agreed to name their child Twifia, which is an internet provider in the UK. And by naming their daughter that, they were able to get 18 years of free Wi-Fi.
Well, change our name. I might actually take that up.
So
I'm Spectrum now. Thank you.
The company is called Twi-Fi, but so they would allow for the names Twifius or Twifia.
So did others choose to do it too, and it was just whoever was chosen out of the bunch, or they were the first ones to have like the baby born to have the name? Apparently,
it's just an open invitation.
Anytime?
Anyone who does it.
That's funny.
You get 18 years of free internet. And there was, in fact, a couple that took them up on it, and now they get 18 years of internet.
What speed are we getting?
I don't know. You know what? If I was that company and they were the first ones to do it, I would just be like,
you can have it all.
You're getting the best of the best of the best. And here's like a Mac to go with it or something. Well,
you can always have, your legal first name, but then go by a nickname. So that would be fine. You could make something out of that.
That's something. And the smart play would be like, okay, how much would you pay for internet every month? Let's say it's $100 a month. We're going to put $100 in a savings bond for all 18 years, and then when she's 18, she'll have money to blow on whatever she wants. I mean, college.
College, that's right.
Yeah.
Or you mean to save it up, you just never do.
Well, it's something you say.
That's a fun idea. There's worse names that people have been given, and you never even got free internet from it. So at least you're getting something.
At least you're getting something. But I don't know. I was almost Matthew. Yeah. So I'm told.
I think I was almost Jennifer.
I could see you as a Jennifer.
You can?
Especially now that your hair's blonde.
Does that just go hand in hand?
For me, it does. I don't know why, but
just does.
Hi, I'm Jennifer.
And nice to meet you, Matthew.
I think
it doesn't fit. I mean, you're definitely an Obadiah.
It doesn't fit. I couldn't.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
I was like, I should stream. I haven't streamed in a while.
I was so excited when I saw that you did.
So I did. I streamed that free-to-play game we talked about, Genshin Impact.
Which has been super popular.
I really like it. It's a gacha game, and it's a big trap to waste just millions of dollars just dumping money into a huge hole.
A lot of people have said you can still make your way through the game without spending money. It's just very hard.
Yes. So
depending also on your personality.
Yeah. And here's what I already know is going to happen. You get stuff like bonuses for logging in every day and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do this for about 2 weeks.
You think that's as long as you can handle it?
At the most. Because that's exactly what happens. Whatever it is, I'll be like, this is so fun. And then I'll just leave it installed and never go back to it.
You get way into it but you only have so much time that you can actually keep up with it. And then you break that streak and it's very hard to get back to it.
Exactly what you just said right there.
It's like a diet. So it's just hard to jump back in.
So yeah, I did play it and we streamed it. And one of the things that I'm supposed to do is we stream it on Facebook and then I'm supposed to record it locally so I can upload it to YouTube.
Because it won't stream to like all of them.
Yeah. And I didn't. And
you had one job.
I know. All I had to do, there are two buttons. They're right next to each other.
So they're close and it should be easy.
Like right there. I should be able to do both of them. And when I got done streaming, I was like, oh, crap, I forgot to record it. And do you know what I thought of? The moment when I had to come in and tell you.
Oh, that you forgot.
That I forgot to record it.
I'm not. No one's mad at you.
I just know. But I was just like.
It's disappointed.
I know. And I was like, I'm going to have to go in and tell Nikki
that you didn't do it.
I didn't record it.
Well, it's
and
hard
we're going to have to do this whole dance again because every time I do this,
you always forget.
I don't record it.
Well, it's hard because Facebook, you can't just download from Facebook. If you want to, the quality is so low.
It's not worth putting it back up.
But for a lot of our subscribers on YouTube, you want to send them the video too. So that's why you have to record it at a higher rate.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. It's okay.
It's fine.
It's
whatever.
all right. But
it's
you can't at least.
It's the kind of okay where it's not really, but we're saying it to make you feel better.
But you can at least.
You know that kind.
I know that is the kind. You can at least check it out if you want to see Obadiah Plays from Friday. You can go to our Facebook page, and that's up at RadioU or RadioU Riot.
So far, it's the whole thing where like you don't earn things, you roll for them. Mm-hmm. And I've gotten, I think, 22 free rolls. And out of that, I've gotten 2 characters, I think.
I'm sorry, the game is, I can never remember the name.
It's called Genshin Impact. But think about this, that if, like, the part of the idea is collecting these characters, right? So I got 22 free rolls, and I got 2 characters. So that is, what is that, 10%?
Yeah.
A drop rate for these characters. If I had just been buying rolls, that would have been about $34 worth.
To still get the 2 characters?
$34.
For 2, I'm not sure.
So I got 2 characters and 20 throwaway pieces of junk in the rolls. Think about that. That's crazy.
That's why they're kind of more of the gotcha games.
No, that's what it is. That's where the money is. Because again, go research gambling a little bit. People will spend more money on chance than they will on a guaranteed return. It's a psychological problem built into humanity. Something's wrong.
Something deep, but it's fine. You can at least watch Obi play the game. And then if you want to catch up on Friday, we also had everything in slow motion. We caught up with them and we did the food fight for the new Dunkin' Donuts spicy ghost pepper donut. So there's a lot of videos for you to watch.
That was Friday.
That was on Friday.
Seems like forever ago.
I had to laugh on Friday later in the day. So we had a couple of donuts left over. They weren't the spicy ones. They were the regular ones. And someone was like, oh, they look good, but I don't want to eat it. I want it to be spicy. And I was like, oh, no, those are just the regular ones.
You were like, yeah, you know what? I'll eat it for you.
Yeah, I'll take the spice. I can manage the heat.
Don't worry.
So follow us on Facebook, RadioU or RadioU Riot. Lots of goodies there.
How to survive the riot. Do the complete opposite of everything they say. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
So Friday, I was supposed to get together with some friends. Totally fell through. And do you know why it fell through?
Why did it fall through?
Okay, so one of my friends, he's got a kid's in school, and they sent him home on Friday because one of the people in his little group or whatever had COVID. Confirmed
really?
COVID.
Oh,
so
no.
That means that his son got sent home, and
then... Do they have to quarantine then?
I don't know.
Because I think it maybe varies from place to place, but aren't you supposed to then if someone in your class got it?
You know what? This might be okay. Might be interesting just to do a quick audience poll here, but he called me and said, hey, here's the deal. He got sent home. He's had, confirmed connection with somebody who's had COVID. And his son has to quarantine for 14 days.
Okay, he does. Yeah,
he does for sure. But it's like, I don't know if the rest of the family is supposed to or not. But he was like, hey, do you still want to get together?
No. No way.
And I was...
No, thank you.
I actually said, I was like, let me call you back.
Because I can't do that.
Let me call you back.
Because technically he should, because he's around him all the time. So you would have the same chance.
So I just want to know what everybody else would do. Just feel free to text 8772-RADIO-U.
No way.
What would you have done? I'll tell you what I thought about.
What?
Honestly, I thought about the fact that, one, I just quarantined and I was sick, but I didn't have COVID. So that was not great. So there's that. That's one. Two, the other thing I thought of was I'm DJing a wedding this weekend.
Yeah.
When I had to quarantine 2 weeks ago because I had a fever, I was supposed to officiate a wedding. I had to call them 2 days before they got married and tell them they had to find somebody else. And I was like, I can't do that to someone else. Once is enough. And then I started thinking about everybody at Radio U and how they could end up getting sick. And I was just like, I'm sorry. I hate to be Karen about this.
Well, I'm sure he was not surprised you said no.
But I can't do this.
Sure.
There's too much going on in the next 10 days for me to suddenly end up with the sniffles and having to quarantine again.
Sure. And again, Obi's never had it.
I haven't had it.
You've been sick to where the symptoms, you still need to take it seriously. Just in case.
So, you know what? I'd like to know, I explained the circumstance. What would you do? 8772-RADIO-U. Wait, we'll come back with your responses.
Gabe, you're so sweet.
So just come on. 8772-RADIO-U.
That's a big no.
What would you do?
If your friends wanted to still see you, but there was a potential contact, you mean, with someone that they knew?
Yeah. So just
not even knew, someone that they had in their household.
So this is somebody whose son went to school. School person had it, and it was enough for them to send him home and say, you can't come back for 2 weeks. Holy crap. That to me alone was just the school can do that? That's discrimination.
It's not.
Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So here's the breakdown. On Friday, I was supposed to get together with a friend. We were going to hang out, whatever. And he calls me and says, hey, my son just got sent home from school.
Because someone in his class had COVID.
Someone in his class has COVID, but you still want to get together or not? And so his son has to quarantine for 14 days, and he's got... whatever.
But he doesn't have to? I still think he needs to.
I don't know. But, Nikki, you know what? I asked everybody what they would do. We'll start off with this is insane. An actual person using their phone.
We love David. We haven't talked in a while.
Good morning, David.
Good morning.
What is up, guys? Good to talk to you again.
It's good to talk to you. How are you doing today?
I am doing, it's a case of the Mondays, really. I mean,
yes.
I'm just trying to get through.
Yes. So talk to us, David. Your friend has a roommate that has COVID or has come in contact with someone who has COVID.
That's how you put it, yeah.
And so do you still get together with him?
Absolutely not. There's no way. And it's not because I fear the virus. I don't care about the virus. Do you know how many things I could get done if I was stuck in my house for 14 days?
Okay.
I've got a honey-do list the size that you would never believe. However, it's the paperwork and the nonsense that I'd have to go through, the contact tracing. It's not worth it. It is not worth it.
This man speaks the truth.
Good point there.
David, thank you so much for calling. You have a great day.
Thanks.
Hey, God bless, guys.
Bye. Oh,
David,
so nice to talk to David.
David is our friend in the United States Navy.
Yay.
Thank you, David, for your service there. I actually had, I
Did
said
you have the same thought?
very similar things to someone else where I was like, can you, the potential waves of difficulty that would come.
So even if you didn't get it, you'd be within the thing of it all where you were in contact with potentially someone.
Right. And kind of like David, maybe this is me being naive because I haven't seen a really bad case of it. And so I don't want to get in a thing here, but I literally am like, if I got the virus, I'd probably be fine, sick for a few days, whatever. But the impact of it on the people I live with, the people I work with, all of the things that would happen, it's no, it's not worth it.
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the riot. Then they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on Radio U.
So I was supposed to get together with a friend on Friday. He called and said, hey, my son has been sent home from school because one of his, whoever, I don't know if it's his classroom or somebody's, whatever it is, he's had extended contact with someone who's had COVID.
So it'd be like if you had a roommate and the roommate came in contact.
Right. So he's like, do you still want to get together? And I want to know what you guys would have done. So I got a text here from the Durek. He says, stay away.
Sure.
Gabe says, pass on it, Obi. We don't need Nikki sick either.
Oh, yeah.
He's looking out for you.
We want to make sure everybody around you is safe.
So,
the risk would not be worth it.
So let's see. Bethany says one kid was within 6 feet of his teacher. His desk was too close, and his teacher got it. So the poor kid had to be quarantined for 2 weeks without having COVID.
Gotcha. Because you still need to quarantine even if, you know.
That's kind of the way that stuff happens. Mark says, so Obi, I would have probably done the exact same thing you did. I've only been practicing medicine for 3 years. Look how smart you are.
3 years.
And in the South, a lot of people think it's a bunch of nonsense, which is true. I've been getting that from a lot of people. Katie says, I was exposed to COVID at a funeral. I have asthma, had to quarantine and get tested. Myself and one cousin, we were the only mask wearers at the funeral. Yeah, that happens to me a lot. A lot of places I'll go in somewhere, and yes, I wear a silly mask when I go into the store or whatever. And I don't know, though. Like when I go into the store, I see a lot of people.
Everybody else. Only on Reddit have I seen people oppose that. I've never seen that in public.
Yeah, and you know what? I also went to a funeral, Katie, and I would say there were probably a little less than half of us that were wearing masks.
But you were in a smaller town. I do find that the farther out you get, the less likely you get a lot of people following that.
Yeah, Melinda says, my husband had a procedure next week and is skipping his massage today because the massage therapist might have been exposed. Trey says we can hang out online and party.
Nice. All right, Trey, I didn't know the invite was out. Let's do that.
He's doing an Xbox Live party.
Oh, is he?
So, that would have been a thing. He and I did something we haven't done.
You passed, though. You didn't go meet him in person.
I didn't.
That's so not worth it.
Well, you know what's funny is, again, if with the COVID stuff, if I could do it and it would just affect me, it would be like, I
know some people who want to get it over with, and that's a really weird thing to say, but they're younger and everybody feels more confident and just can't stand the what if sort of thing that we've all been living with.
So I just didn't like the idea of
everybody else.
Well, yeah, this is a case where if I get COVID, it affects me, it affects my roommates, it potentially affects their friends and family. It affects RadioU. I have to spend 2 weeks trying to broadcast from my basement. I mean, you see what I mean? Like it's not just me. It's a lot of people. And so it was like, nah, I can't.
You told your friend no?
I did. Dude, I felt like the freaking Grinch.
Why?
I don't know,
he
but
there
was something about it where I was just like, man, what? Like, listen, look at me canceling because somebody ran into somebody that might have something.
Oh no, I know the classroom stuff. That's too close. That's not even a what if potentially someone. No way.
I know. So it's fine. I'm fine. It's fine.
We're all fine. Is that it?
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Over the weekend, Japan had the #1 movie in the world.
They did?
Not in Japan. They had the #1 movie in the world.
Well, again, because our box office is so low.
Demon Slayer the movie Mugen Train, a Japanese action-adventure anime. It is apparently about someone who slays the demons
on a train.
Over the weekend, it opened on 403 screens. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
And it made $44 million. To be clear, that is more than it made for Frozen 2. So Frozen 2's opening weekend, $30 million. And
in the world or just in Japan?
Just in Japan.
Just in Japan when it opened.
Yes. And so it made it it was a huge opening day for them, just in general. So $44 million for the weekend. Now, Nikki, let's compare that to how things went in the United States over the weekend.
Well, I was going to mention Demon Slayer if you're like, oh, I want to. I think it releases outside of Japan for fan screenings is what they're calling it.
Sure.
In January, and in general screenings will be in February of next year.
I still have never done
a fan screening?
Yes. I keep seeing certain anime getting released, and I never go. The closest I've gotten is to seeing Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, it's just at a smaller, more art house sort of theater for a Saturday or something, but then it'll be a general screening release in February.
Yeah, I went to see that Godzilla movie, and one of the things that stick out to me about the movie was that the theater smelled terrible. It was worth it. I wanted to see that movie, but it smelled
the theater was
terrible.
Not so good.
Yeah. Now, in the U.S. over the weekend, Liam Neeson released a movie, Honest Thief, and it pulled in, wait for it, the number one movie in the United States over the weekend. Pulled in $3.7 million.
That was it. That's it. That's the total. That's how many people can go and get in. And with theaters closed and screenings at smaller amounts, that was the top.
If you add the Canadian box office, it pulled in $4.2 million.
Oh, that's as much it added.
So what I'm saying is...
Wow, what a weekend.
We aren't exactly going to the movies out there.
That's why I don't know, for studios, is that on an in demand as well? Why would you just count it and just put it in theaters expecting it to bring anything in?
I think that movie was supposed to not get a theatrical release. Now, I could be wrong about that, but that's what I think. I think that movie was headed straight to home whatever.
And they just decided to put it out?
They're just trying. They're in a position where there's a real push and pull between movie studios and theater owners.
Sure.
Because theater owners are like, hey, you've got to give us something to watch.
And for the studio, wasn't Liam Neeson the one who had that controversy, was it earlier this year, to where it kind of, he wasn't going to be in theaters anymore because of that? Do you remember?
I actually don't remember.
He said some things and people didn't like it, and that led to all that stuff.
Somebody said something people didn't like?
I know. Believe it or not.
It's hard to believe.
It was right when that other movie he was doing was supposed to come out, and then, they just kind of were holding on him.
I'm sure it's a thing. I don't remember. And you know what? I'm not looking it up. I don't want to know what he said that time at the thing.
But that just shows you how small the box office is.
You're listening to a morning show hosted by two people who absolutely despise getting up in the morning. Will you give me a break one time? The Riot, RadioU.
I just want you to know if there's something that you want to buy that's only available online as kind of a collector's edition, you're never getting it.
Well, you mean it'll never come in?
Ever. It's never
coming. Or you
coming.
just can't buy it because there's not enough stock.
It's crazy. Over the weekend, I've been trying to buy a new graphics card, and I've kind of given up on it, but probably every couple of days I just kind of poke in all right, has there been any word, any chatter? Do you still have alerts
set too? Or?
I do, and that's actually what got me to go look. I got an email this weekend hey, just letting you know, we don't have any, but if we did, we would have emailed you.
So they were just emailing to email about that.
Right, which is fine, whatever.
They're just checking in.
I set up a bunch of alerts around a bunch of places, but the reality of it is, if you think that that's going to get you the item, it won't. Because it takes them, in some cases, a full day for the inventory to register enough to send the email.
So by the time you get the email, it's already gone.
It's already gone.
Aww.
So forget about it. But I got that email and I was like, okay. So I did something that I haven't done in a week, is I went and poked into Reddit and looked at some of the official forums. And I was like, because these people are crazy. They know.
Well, if there's a place to buy it at, they would tell you.
So I find out that there was one website that had some that posted at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday.
Yeah.
They sold out in less than 10 seconds.
Oh, you just can't.
So
you can't, unless you're a bot, you can't be that fast.
If only I'd been paying attention.
You couldn't have gotten it.
If only I'd been there.
At 10 seconds, you would never have gotten it.
But I'm fast.
No, you're not.
Not fast enough.
Not like that.
It's crazy.
That is quick.
When I read it, I was like, you know what? This is one of the reasons I'm not on Reddit anymore. I don't even want to know
that you missed out.
I don't even want to know about it. Just you guys, I'll see you later.
Aww.
You guys thought I was back in. I was just passing through.
So, question about the graphics card. You know how, like, the company that he wanted to get him with, they had 3 new versions?
Yeah.
So, like a light, a porridge that was too cold, just right, and too hot.
Right.
So, are the other sizes of the graphic cards just as hard to find?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not like you could just...
And it's been, their medium and larges rolled out and to almost no one getting them. I mean, some people have them, but then also...
People are buying them, you just can't find them.
The small one isn't even out yet. So it's one of those things where my best bet would be to just shut up and wait till next year. And eventually, eventually it'll be everywhere.
I'm sure.
But in the meantime, it's fine. It's fine. Just
Weekends are the toughest, aren't they?
They can be.
Where you're just trying to buy it, just trying to find it.
I just decided I was dumb enough to look around. And that's the thing, is that you think that you could just casually maybe. No. You're up against people that are dedicating their lives
to finding this card.
To getting the thing.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
Last night when I went to bed, I was like, dude, you got to get back in the gym tomorrow. So I was like, yep. So I packed my gym bag, threw it in my car, and then woke up so tired I thought I was dying, and I laid on the floor in my closet for half an hour.
Well, you had a rougher morning this morning, but are you going to go later?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I can't decide whether this inspires me or it just makes me want to completely give up. I'm not sure. But McKenna Myler, 28 years old, 9 months pregnant.
Yeah.
There is a TikTok of her running a mile in 5 minutes and 25 seconds.
At 9 months pregnant?
At 9 months pregnant.
That's amazing, even if you weren't.
What the what?
Good for her. She must be pretty fit.
She must be pretty something. I just can't believe it.
And is it 5 minutes, like, for sure, or...
She's on a track.
Are we just saying it?
I get the feeling it's real.
It's real.
I mean, I suppose it could be something that she's just, like, thrown together for...
So she's been training 6 times a week during her pregnancy. She was challenged by her partner to run a mile under 8 minutes during her final month, and this is what she came up with.
5 minutes, 25 seconds.
Whoa, that's the average mile time for a woman is 10 minutes and 40 seconds.
Wow. Yeah. No, the best I ever did was I ran a 5:35 mile in high school.
Yeah.
But it wasn't an official time because it wasn't on a track. And so I've always felt like, maybe that's how fast I ran it. Like, we didn't have it wasn't properly or officially measured. But this woman's like, yeah, I'm 9 months pregnant. Ain't no thing. Oh, man.
So they say that, or she says, she's been running 5 to 6 times a day throughout her pregnancy, but I think that must mean a week, not a day. I hope she's not running that much each day.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that's what.
And her best is 4.43. Good for her.
Yes. So just remember, your best is nowhere near as good as somebody else's.
Good for that. Yeah, the TikTok was just full of people, using that and just showing how they can't even do anything, let alone they're not even pregnant.
So get out there, everybody, and make it happen.
Well, I guess you can never get anything if you don't start with something.
You got to start somewhere. So
start with a walk.
So get pregnant.
No,
that's not it.
It's the health thing. We're focusing on that side of things.
Okay.
You don't even need to worry about the other side. It's more just you can start walking and then running if you want to.
Yeah, sure. Like, we should focus on running 1 time a week.
And then
we can expand from there.
Oh, my gosh. And then see what your time is. See.
No, I actually recommend. I think you should take a whole month before you start measuring anything.
That's actually a really good idea. Otherwise, you'll be so disappointed comparing it to other people.
Real talk, like, just getting there is a huge accomplishment. And then at some point down the line, once you've had a chance to work out some cobwebs and establish a baseline, then if you really want to start tracking, then start. But
don't do it at first.
But I'm not a personal trainer and I'm fat, so what do I know?
I gave during the last fundraiser, and all I got was this crappy morning show. This is The Riot on listener-supported RadioU.
Devastating news over the weekend for tab drinkers, right?
Is that even a thing? I guess I thought that was a thing in this would have been the 70s or the 80s.
Apparently, for the last 40 years, like since the 70s, Coke has been making Tab. Tab was the first ever diet soda.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I don't even know if I've ever had it, but I know the name. I just don't know. I don't think we've ever drank it before.
They say that it was introduced in 1963, actually. I had an aunt that drank Tab, and I remember, like, my dad would always be like, don't mess with her till she's had her first Tab.
Her first drink. Her first drinky.
Yeah, I guess.
First drink of the day.
So I remember being a kid and not really understanding what that meant, but that would have been not that long ago. And she was a tab drinker. Drink that Tab, but not anymore.
Coca-Cola said that it'll disappear from stores, which, again, we didn't even notice that it was there, but it'll disappear by the end of this year. It was an icon before Diet Coke came out.
They say when Diet Coke was released in 1982, suddenly people weren't so up for Tab.
That's interesting. It was marketed to women for those who wanted to keep tabs on their weight.
Is that what that means?
That's what that means. That would never fly right now. You could have never done that. So if you wanted to keep tabs on your weight, you drank Tab.
Shut up.
Whoa, that's fascinating.
Now it's
and a bit annoying.
It's funny. Like, you can't tell people they're fat.
Oh,
Even
no
if
way.
they are, you can't say it.
So it made a comeback in 2006. They did a Tab energy drink. And that was it. If you also like Coca-Cola, they have a coconut water and a feisty cherry Diet Coke. Those are also going to be discontinued.
Those like Diet Coke flavors that they did, they
never
weren't
took
very
off.
good. Yeah, they weren't. You know what? I don't. Have you ever had Tab?
No.
I should go see if I can find it. I've never had it. So what? It's going to disappear. What does it taste like? Ooh,
What is it?
They made Tab clear.
They
at
said
some point.
if it wasn't for Tab, you would never have Diet Coke or Coke Zero. It was the original one.
What are we supposed to do? Hold a little moment for it?
I don't know. Maybe at the grocery store.
Get a 6-pack of Tab and some candles.
Apparently.
Just get out there. Spend the night.
Well, you should be buying it for the aunts of the world, who maybe are the grandmothers or the moms who would still be drinking something like that. You got to buy it now so you can try to sell it online for more.
I got you some Tab.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll pay a premium price for it.
That's the answer. Let's go clear them out on Tab, and then whoever's addicted to it, and they're out there, we just start selling it to them at a very high price online.
I guess I just never noticed it was still sold at stores.
Though, to be honest, that age bracket that's probably addicted to Tab, they don't know how to use eBay.
So Coke also had Tab variations over the years. They had a root beer and a ginger ale.
Yeah, and then like Tab Clear.
Yeah, that was another one.
If you keep scrolling down, so what is that, like Pepsi Clear? Or no? Crystal Pepsi?
Kind of like that.
Sure.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So, Nikki, I am going to be traveling. I mean, theoretically, supposedly,
by
I think
plane.
so, by plane at Thanksgiving.
Sure.
That's the plan as of right now. So the United Airlines and the Department of Defense have just finished working on a study in which they were studying COVID transmission inside an airplane.
Yeah. And
here's what they found. That if everyone on the plane wears a mask, they say that there is a 0.003% that particles from one passenger, so like you just breathing or even coughing, they say, will pass from your space to another person's space on the plane.
As long as everyone has their masks on. Because I've heard of plenty of people contacting COVID when traveling, but not from being in the plane from traveling, but just when you get there, what happens when you're on your vacation.
That's what happens. Or according to the Department of Defense, that is correct. It is not in the airplane that
you're picking it up.
Are picking it up. It's when you are outside of the plane interacting with people that you're more likely to actually pick it and whatever else up. So that means, I'll be wearing a mask.
Yeah.
The entire time I'm gone.
Yeah. And in the airport, you're supposed to as well.
Well, and I will. But then the question for me is, every time I travel, I at least get a cold. And it's like an allergy thing or whatever, but it seems like I won't say every time, but often when I travel by air. The question is, with the mask on this time around, and of course washing my hands a lot, do you think I'll be able to avoid the sinus infection that so often...
I don't think your case can, because I think it's the pressure that affects your sinuses.
It does
and
hurt.
That's not changing. I think that affects it and gives you something when you get back.
All right. Well, let's hope not. Because when I come back...
We don't want that.
When we come back, we'll be staring at Giving Tuesday, so I got to be ready.
You got to be ready to go.
Yeah, but that's the study. They say further proof, and I mean, you can look this up and get more details on the study. I'm not covering all of it, but they say that if you look at the COVID incidence rate among flight attendants on the major airlines, it's way lower than the general population. And they say that's because an airplane actually is a safe environment because of the way the air flows and because of the way it's filtered. Now, of course, they would say that.
I know. I'm like, which airline again was a part of this?
This was United, but keep in mind, the study was started by the Department of Defense with the cooperation of United Airlines.
Wink, wink. Sure it was.
A nudge is as good as a wink.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Talking about Nashville, Nikki.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Nashville, and I'm talking about COVID-19.
So Nashville is a place we used to go rather frequently for work, but it's been a while and definitely not this year.
Yeah, we decided we'd stop having fun, so one of the first things to go
we took away
was
trips.
Going to Nashville. That was
For work,
right
no more.
off the list, guys. So they had a spike in cases in Nashville over the weekend, which, by the way, is happening. I think I saw it was all but 8 states are currently seeing a spike. I don't know what we did 2 weeks ago or whatever that now we're just like, yay. But Dr. Michael Caldwell, who is the health director of Nashville's Department of something, identified 7 clusters of spread over the weekend where COVID was like, woo, woo, it was just everywhere, right?
So you can kind of see if you were a part of the cluster.
Yeah, you ready?
Were you a spreader?
Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I said it was just over the weekend. It was over the last 2 weeks.
Sure.
Okay, so data was released over the weekend, but these are the events they've identified over the last 2 weeks. At the lowest, we'll go lowest to highest. There was a wedding on October 3rd. There was another wedding on October 3rd, so 2 different weddings. A religious event, don't know what it was. A religious service.
Okay. Oh, so an event wouldn't be the same as like a church service?
Apparently not. Now we're into karaoke bar.
Oh, I didn't know that would be one.
We're in our top 3. It makes sense because what do they say?
You're spitting.
That when you're singing, you're really putting it out there.
Yeah.
At this karaoke bar, they've had 12 cases. 7th grade party.
Really? 7th grade party.
13 cases.
Was that at karaoke?
Maybe. The big one, Nikki.
I'm sure it's a bar.
No, it's not.
It's not a bar?
No, the biggest place where they had the number of incidents in the last 2 weeks in Nashville.
Is it a workout club?
Volleyball tournament.
No, really?
Volleyball tournament.
Like a school or something?
It doesn't say. They were really cagey about giving any kind of detail.
Yeah,
so
they don't want you to figure out who and where.
Right. They're trying to share the data without you knowing where it came from. But they said
As a former volleyball player, this is very sad.
This was, well, you know what? I can tell you that it was 32 infections between student athletes and staffers at a large volleyball tournament.
Gotcha. So it's not like maybe they had a crowd still. It was between the players and stuff?
Yeah. So there you go. So what does a karaoke bar, a church service, and a volleyball tournament all have in common?
Don't do it. Don't go.
They're clusters, baby.
Aw, that would be the worst if you recognized or realized or found out that you were something, like you started something.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's
You really? No. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Okay. I appreciate you saying that. That I think makes a help.
What could I possibly say that hasn't been said already?
Sure. They're just trying to help people recognize what potentially could be something that could spread or cause something.
That's what they're talking.
Could be a cluster.
Could be. Do you want to be part of a cluster? Who wants to play volleyball?
If it was like nuts and chocolate and stuff, like one of those things.
A goo-goo cluster?
Something like that.
Is there caramel in it?
I don't want like a real one with a sickness thing. No, thank you.
It's a good call. And you know what, Nikki? I appreciate you jumping in there and drawing some lines so we understood what kind of cluster
Cluster's
we were
not
talking
always
about.
a bad thing.
The Riot Podcast. Radio U.
You shouldn't be using a white noise app to sleep.
Really? Well, wait a minute. Well, so how many people still use? I felt like those had a really popular heyday back a few years ago, but does anybody still use white noise to go to sleep? You do? Doesn't it bother you? Or I guess not if you're able to fall asleep.
No, that hum in my ear is just
I can never. When I try, I would just focus on the hum, and I could never get it out of my head.
As long as the hum is not cyclical.
Yeah.
Now that's a problem, is that I listen to, sometimes I'll pull up like an ambient noise thing on YouTube, which is something that's another thing I do a lot of. And if it, like, let's say it's 8 seconds long and it cycles, or even 15 seconds long and it cycles, I can hear the moment it cycles. That
drives
me
you
insane.
Crazy. It's bad.
I cannot take that.
Because you can use a lot of apps, and then, you could listen to Rain, and then you can add the tone to it.
Right.
And then, man, when you add that tone in. But for some people, it works for you. It just depends.
It works for me, but they say that if you leave that on all night, it actually disrupts your sleep cycle. It may help you fall asleep, but it will not keep you asleep. In fact, will probably wake you up.
Will it say, like, can you not get deep enough sleep?
Yes. So it's one of those things that when you should be sleeping deeper, you're not.
Well, that's not a problem. You just use the app that then allows it to turn off, like it has timers to it.
They definitely have apps that are like that. They also, like, part of this was, they say it's the same with adults, but they were saying with kids that if you're using a white noise machine with a kid, you shouldn't. That's where the National Health Services thing comes in. They say that, like, with a baby or whatever, you should just make them tough it out. They need to get used to sleeping with noise.
That's us. We're the babies.
That's right.
We just got to get used to it.
That's right. Dude, I'm telling you, like, the idea, don't tell me I can't have that. Listen, I got 2 fans, a weighted blanket, and then
a face mask?
A face mask for my eyes, and then some earbuds.
So isn't the fan...
And I'm sleeping fine, I think.
The fan is kind of like the white noise, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I like to feel like... I like wind coming from the side at my face and then overhead from the fan. And then the weighted blanket, I guess it helps. Like, there was a time when I felt like it helped a lot, but
Not sure anymore?
The other day I tried to sleep without it, and I was like... This is like sleeping with a paper towel. This is not going to work. This is not working.
All right. Well, everybody's body is different. So they're just saying that if you use a lot of the sleep apps to help, you want to make sure you set a timer so it's not going the whole night. You can't expect it to help keep you into a deep sleep.
That's right, Nikki. You know what? I feel like you got it.
All right.
You're getting it.
So funny.
This kid's going to succeed one day. Like she's got...
What is your nighttime routine like to get all that ready for bed?
It actually doesn't take that long.
It doesn't?
Just throw a couple switches, climb in. You're good.
Get the weighted blanket on ya, the earbuds in.
You know what? If I could, I'd like to show you right now just how fast I can get back into bed and go to sleep.
You're not allowed to go to sleep.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The Riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
We try to give him other food, but all he eats is mashed up French fries with sweet and sour sauce.